District 69, I think, is going to give QG a run for their money here, knock them off balance a little bit early on, and looking to make a statement here in Game 1.
Well, let's find out how it's going to go in the draft. And District 69 up with the first pick. Who are they going to go for? We see a lot of different openers available to us. Makoa is hovered and locked, so District 69 getting their aggressive frontline on early.
Yep, Makoa here. A great pick all around. Dredge Anchor, one of the most confirmable crowd controls in Paladins here. QG, I watched them in scrims a lot. They're able to work very well off of the Makoa Dredge Anchor, so a good look to take away from them.
Absolutely. Fernando and Cassie locked in for QG. Staples for the Paladins competitive scene. Fernando, just the beefiest champion in Paladins currently, and Cassie, very reliable damage. But District 69, this is where it gets interesting. Androxus and Charlene locked in. And there's one player on D69 who's made a name for themselves on Andro, but Team QG, they're starting to get a bit more sustained in their composition.
Ooh, Maldama is going to be hovered and locked in, as well as Buck. So taking that away from D69, we'll have to see Elven Path on something different. And Buck was a pick that he played in every game of the EV's Winter Classic.
He's a big fan of the shotgun for sure. I mean, Barrick has the blunderbuss available to them, but it's just not the same. You haven't got that same dynamic with Heroic Leap. District 69 will be rounding off their draft on the left-hand side of your screen, however, with Ruckus and Ying. So electing to go into the second favored healer, shall we say, the second favored support with Ying and Ruckus for the double front line. QG, last pick, Victor.
Yeah, looking to lay down that long-range pressure. Victor, very, very good at that. Overall, on paper, though, I think this Buck in particular, he is a flank character. He's looking to isolate someone squishy in the backline. But really, the best target for him to do that would be Shaolin, but Shaolin is so effective at going toe-to-toe with his ability Planet. It's one of the strongest base kit abilities, one of the longest cooldown, and one of the heaviest hitting.
Certainly, when you do go down into Planted, you're firing off several 800 damage shots, and if you confirm that after impaling Buck into a wall, stunning them with your ultimate fire, your Impaler arrow as well, while Buck's flank is definitely going to be going south, and Buck will be sent straight back to base. With this Victor pickup last, though, it is reliable damage, and that's interesting to me. I mean, it's necessary somewhere. You've got Cassie, you've got Victor. There's a great deal of direct damage coming through here on QG, and it is interesting that we're not seeing an AoE damage champion picked up. Evie slipped entirely through the draft as well.
Which is nuts. I mean, she's been at the top of the draft for so long, for so many teams. It just seems like such a staple pick here. The only area damage-based champion in the game is going to be Fernando, and his damage is nothing to scoff at if he gets in your face.
Oh, absolutely, and especially as we do transition towards itemization later into the game, if Fernando goes by unmitigated, well, then he's a force to be reckoned with. That Fireball 2 from Fernando coming in handy versus Ying has built-in anti-heal. But I do want to talk about District 69 with their very aggressive draft of Ruckus and Makoa. Ruckus was a bit of a wild card coming back into the meta recently. Nothing changed to my knowledge, but all of a sudden, he was there, and he was doing very well.
And part of that, I think, was Maldamba, actually, one of the more recent champions in Paladins, coming into his own. People starting to figure out a champion that complements Ruckus very well. We won't see that this game because they're not on the same team. But I think that forced people to play Ruckus more, and in turn, they just started to figure out Ruckus, figure out his strengths that may have not been seen before.
Absolutely. Now, we do have Ruckus paired up with a Ying here. Ying, a little bit less mobile than Maldamba. She relies on, well, she's kind of, you place your illusions, they'll just heal players up without you really having to do anything, but she needs to get established and get kind of bunkered down before she's able to get all that healing off effectively. Do you think this team composition is still going to work with Ying, or were they really looking for the Maldamba here?
I think it'll still work here. Like you mentioned, it does take setup. Ruckus, very momentum-based. Ying requiring some setup time, but I think the Makoa first pick is going to be clutch. This will allow District 69 to get that odd man advantage, get that early pick, really set the tone, and kind of maybe get QG to back off, scare them a little bit, and buy them that space and that time that they need to get their composition set up.
You mentioned Makoa. We should absolutely talk about why he is so dangerous. You mentioned setup here. He's got a specific ability in his kit that I'm thinking of. I think everybody is thinking of because it's so iconic to him. Would you mind taking me through that and explaining exactly how we can confirm setup from that?
That's right. I mean, you can see it right there on his player card. The Dredge Anchor is the staple of what Makoa does. He throws it out. He can serve enemies up to his team. They will be stunned for the duration of the hook. But not only that, Makoa can turn while the player is being pulled towards him, and the player will end up wherever Makoa is facing when the duration of Dredge Anchor ends. So it's very easy to just set up kills for Shaolin, confirm damage, headshots from Ruckus. It is an extremely dangerous ability.
And not just that, you said hook and serve. When it comes down to it, we've got to remember that on certain maps, including Jaguar Falls and Paladins, there are environmental hazards. So if you can knock players off the edge using Cassie's knockback from disengage maybe, or even Impaler Arrow, it's great. Now with Makoa, if he dredges somebody, turns 180 degrees, throws them off the cliff, that's a very effective way to get rid of, say, maybe a high health pool Fernando in one shot.
Yeah, it's very dangerous here. Another big thing to look at here is positioning for Makoa and Fernando. Like we mentioned, Dredge Anchor comes with a stun, and big defensive cooldown for QG is going to be Fernando's shield. That's going to be the baseline of their structure, of the spearhead of their point fight. If Makoa can get behind Fernando and land that Dredge Anchor, maybe even throwing him off the map, like we've seen Theo do so many times, it's a great look because it will send that major defensive ability in Fernando's shield on cooldown.
That's so crucial. One thing that we haven't touched on, however, is whilst Makoa does activate the Dredge Anchor, he does stun and pull in their opponent, he's very vulnerable whilst doing so. Could this be an opportunity whilst Makoa himself is immobilized for QG to capitalize on getting some free damage onto one of District 69's frontliners?
Yeah, and this is going to come down to Victor. They're going to have to keep him safe from Perdoza and Droxus, and boy, is that a tall task.
Now, we are assuming that Perdo will be playing Androxus, one of the showstopper players from District 69, the Godslayer himself, who made a name for himself at LAN, at DreamHack with the Founders Tournament in Jönköping, Sweden, in the last summer of 2016, played out of his mind. I do have to wonder then who's going on Charlene, because we know that Perdo plays a very good Charlene, and with no Buck on the table, we do know that Elvenpath has a bit of a history of playing Androxus when push comes to shove.
And push has come to shove in this situation here. D69, I think, have a pretty interesting storyline here as well. They have some substitute players we mentioned.
They do.
Visa issues from Team QG. Their captain, one of their main role players here, Bugsy, is not going to be joining us. Filling his shoes will be unbelievable. He fills in the tank role, so he'll either be on Makoa or Ruckus. But that's a big point for D69. Fernando is unbelievable. His comfort pick as well as Pip. You know, neither of those are in D69's draft here, so we'll have to see where he is going to come into play.
Now, you see, whilst unbelievable, he is very comfortable on Fernando, is very comfortable on Pip. I think that District 69, although they're playing with a substitute, they've been working with them for long enough now that they're starting to value, okay, let's give them something they're a little bit more uncomfortable on that works better for the team. So I fully expect Unbeat to maybe be on the Makoa or the Ruckus, as they are primarily a frontline player. However, can QG kind of take advantage of this? Could they decide that maybe Unbelievable could be the weak link here?
We'll have to see, and you make an interesting point. Could he be on Makoa? This was something, personally, I was watching very closely towards wrapping up at the end of the EV's Winter Classic, because this has been such a staple pick for every single frontliner in Paladins, and we'll have to see if he can do it.
Absolutely. So we will now be getting into game number one, the very first game of today at the Paladins Invitational Group Stage Play. Let's break down your teams for you live on the screen. Fighting out of the blue corner, the left-hand side of your spectator UI is District 69, led by Unbelievable on Ruckus, Perdo, and Androxus. Sheepa will be playing Charlene Elvenpath on Makoa and Jera on Ying.
And for Team QG, Ye Jing will be on Fernando, Mikasa on Buck, Spira on Maldamba, Master Lu on Cassie, and Knight on Victor.
Interesting. Now, Knight was a big fan of Cassie from what I remember reading up about Team QG. Going with the Victor might affect their playstyle, but watch out from behind. Perdo, 4 shots in a row, takes down one. Reversal is up, trying to keep him safe. Buck, very low as well. Netherstep will keep Perdo safe, but watch out, Sheep on the backside, and the kills are just going all in favor of District 69.
Perdo coming around the corner, spooked Master Lu. He dodge rolled off of the map, no pressure. Big whoopsie daisy there from Team QG. 69% already on the capture point objective for District 69. They will be awarded 1 point for this. You can see the scoreboard goes up to 4. First team to reach 4 points will win the game.
So there we go. Objective capture rolling through for District 69, and no real contest on the comeback there at all. Team QG weren't able to really get out their way out of base, and part of that seems to really come down to Makoa.
That's right, 2 minutes and 15 seconds here remaining. Good positioning from both teams. No one stepping too far over the bounds right now. Fernando's shield is going to be up. We mentioned that's a big defensive cooldown for QG. It's now down. The hook comes out. They're looking to go in on this.
Nice Impaler Arrow does set up one kill. Can Perdo find the shots? No. Reversal is up, keeping him safe, but no more damage confirmed. But Fernando has overextended, shut down with a headshot, and now Perdo is looking for blood.
Looking to get pincered here. Master Lu's have been a rough spot right now. D69, I don't think have given up a death yet. All of these slash lines are still perfect, splitting up QG and pincering pressuring them. Heat Haze already starting to come online. That is Sha-Lin's ultimate ability, the first to come online.
But will it even be necessary here? We're yet to see. Dredge Anchor is available for Elven Path. They do miss the buck, but still pick up the kill on the backside of this fight. Nobody is contesting the payload. District 69 will push this one through for free as the Fernando is too far away. No frontline presence or pressure. And that is District 69 with an early conversion, 2 points up on the scoreboard.
Yep, so they get 1 point for the capture, 1 point for the conversion. It is all or nothing. So Team QG had the chance to defend there. Should they have hold that, they would be awarded a point as well. As you can see on the net worth chart, it is all District 69. Items starting to come out as well. You can see these color-coded here. Red is going to be the offensive items, things like Cauterize. It's going to reduce healing, things like Wrecker. That's going to make the shields fall a little quicker. Blue, that's going to be defensive. That's what players are looking to pick up to mitigate damage. Most of these are going to be Havens right now. Now, Haven, it mitigates direct damage, and that makes sense in this matchup because Fernando is the only one that is area damage based. Every other character in this game is direct damage based.
But still, with that net worth differential, we are seeing Team QG fall behind in credits. They can buy less items, and this might put them at a disadvantage. Early Dredge Anchor from Makoa won't find anything, and Perdo is in trouble.
He is. Fernando just now rejoining his team, but early capture point, zone control, going to be given to D69. That hook is going to be good from Elven Path.
And it converts on a kill onto one. Perdo is diving in, dives straight back out again after taking a lot of poke, but Fernando's been dredged into danger. Barrage incoming, caught by reversal. It's coming through. Here we go. Sheepa closes a kill out onto Yi as well. Marcelu answers back with one, but no, it's all in District 69's favor. Again, at 69% and rising, they are in dominant control of this capture objective.
Elven Path falling lower and lower, but he's going to be safe for now. Just 2 deaths on the side of D69 as they clean up some of these kills, clean up the capture objective, and now 3-0. They have the chance to close out game number 1 here should they convert this payload, and they haven't given us any reason to believe otherwise.
Immortal now going to be used by Fernando from QG in combination with Dread7 to buy some time, keep that Fernando alive, but still with 2 minutes left on the payload push, that's a very early utilization of ultimates that are vital for a clutch defense, buying time for your team to respawn when the payload gets very close to its conversion point. Maybe a bit of a lack of trigger discipline coming through from QG as they are scared of District 69's offensive pressure.
Yeah, and Dread Serpent missing in that last fight didn't help. Fernando's going to drop. That's QG's frontliner now down. Ancient Rage doesn't have the chance to come out. A little bit of crowd control from Maldamba will shut down Elven Path.
But it's not necessary. The Ancient Rage, which would have kept Makoa alive, the ultimate, which puts them back to 10,000 HP, just not necessary because they can depend and rely on Perdo in the backline. Buck Wild is just going to try and buy Buck some time. He's impaled on top of the wall and shut down, and it's all blue on the kill feed again. QG, they're dropping like flies, and this conversion could end the game for District 69 already.
D69 looking strong. 3 ultimates available to try and convert here. Ancient Rage, Hexafire, and Accursed Arm. All heavy-hitting team fight closers. Fernando's going to fall. No one from QG is here. Hexafire comes out just for style.
Right at the end there, used just to pressure on straight through, make sure that nobody was around that conversion point, and allow the payload to slide through for a very, very quick 4-0 victory. You can see District 69 on screen right now, looking relatively content with their performance. QG don't seem to be too discouraged, but they've got some figuring out to do, because that last game they seemed a little bit disjointed.
There was a lot of big things, easy fixes, I think, for QG moving forward here. They look stoic, they look ready. Master Lu rolling off the edge at the start was not a good one. A couple of big missed team ultimates is going to spell doom and gloom for them as well. But as we head over to the stat screen, we can see just how clean this game was from D69. A total of 5 deaths across all 5 of their members.
Absolutely remarkable. What numbers speak to me as well? Low is going to be the solo kills column right here. So this is very important. If you manage to kill an opponent without any other member of your team dropping damage onto them, you get a solo kill. That's fairly self-explanatory. District 69, despite having a lot of eliminations, only having 3 of those, just shows how cohesively they're working together as a unit. They're working as a team, not individual players, despite Perdo going off around the backside of the fight. And this is giving them such an advantage when it comes down to objective play.
Yeah, and I think it's funny that we see Gera on this, seeing the perfect game, 16-0 with one of those solo kills here. So the support from D69, getting a little bored, sitting on the objective, wanted to get into the mix here. But objective time is a category we should highlight here, because QG struggling, 4 seconds on one player, 1 on Knight, and only 12 on their front liner, Fernando. So they're going to have to find a way to control the space a little bit better around the point if they're going to stand a chance, because kills don't win games.
So much of that space control did appear to come through from Elven Pass and Makoa. Might be picked up in the next game, Game 2 coming up shortly. But before we get to champion picks, we got to go straight back to the map draft and find out